2018 Nissan Murano. This one here is a platinum trim, so it automatically comes with a pretty desirable feature, if you ask me, a panoramic roof. And I think for the class, maybe it is becoming kind of standard, but you know, we've got premium Nissan or Infiniti vehicles that were never offered with panoramic roofs. So I think it's pretty cool. Personally, I like it. Some people prefer cars with no features at all, you know, on top, in the no sunroof, moonroof, none of that. As I said, I'm team sunroof. I like it. And let's get inside the car. Look at how beautiful the view is. I think it is beautiful. It does give quite a lot of light, you know, lights to the interior in a pretty different manner. And obviously it's pretty easy, just retract the shade if you need to. But so today's video is gonna be, I guess, an interesting video to do a video on a sunroof. But I think over time I've noticed that the nature of the sunroof in this car can be a little confusing. This is mainly due to the fact that Nissan only offered one switch, one button over there that's supposed to operate the sunroof, moonroof, shade, tilt up, slide, and all that. And as you can see here, it says open, tilt with chevrons back and forward, and it says close. So it's got, I mean, this one, but it does work. But I just wanted to offer some clarification, and hopefully this video helps, because sometimes you might get caught up in a bad situation like rain and you end up touching the button, and maybe it's only momentarily, but you know, cause some damage that you're not supposed to do. So before I do that, I think I have to kind of show the different features of that button. I know it's much ado over a little button, but I got to do that. So let me shut off the car, because I don't want the button to respond. And since you usually have some residual power whenever you turn off the car, what I'm going to do is open the door, and then there you go, kill all the power. Okay, so focusing on this button right here, one thing I'd like you to understand is that you've got two indents and two detents, there you go, and going backwards, and two detent positions going forward. So in this case, watch this, right? 1, 2, backwards, 1, 2, 1, well, that kind of skipped forward, 1, 2, all right? Going up, you only have that, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so there, though you have 5 primary motions, right? Forward, 1, 2, back, 1, 2, and then up, right? And that surprisingly does everything you need to do. So that's going to become important. It's kind of like when this is something, I do have another video that talks about power windows, automatic auto up windows and things like that. But as you can see here, like this window switch, 1, 2, right? 1, 2. This one here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Felt a little soft for a while there. The rear ones, 1, right? So these ones are not auto up windows or auto down, right? So, but today's focus is not going to be the windows. So let's go back to the sunroof. So that's what we'll be talking about today. And let me start the car, because now I'm going to need power. I tell you what, this starter in this car is probably something like 100,000 miles, just because of how much work it's been doing today, you know. So anyway, what I wanted to show is how to make the system work. First thing you have to know is the home position. Home position, remember there's a 1, 2, right? Home position is push it to the second position and let everything go. So 1, 2, there. Home position closes everything. As you can see, the sunshade is closing. And you'll notice, unlike older vehicles, like you would get a cutout over here for your handle, this one here does not seem to have any provisions for manual closing. It is powered, and good thing or bad thing, because I think whenever they interlock the sunroof, it helps, because whenever with your standard sunroof, whenever you'd open the sunroof, not just tilt it, whenever you'd open it, it could open whenever you opened it, it would pull the shade back. In most vehicles, you'd have to manually pull the shade back to close it, right? However, you were able, in a normal car, you can tilt up the moonroof without without affecting the shade at all. That's a good thing or bad thing. I mean, I like it for venting purposes, but if you forget, say you were driving at night and you forgot to do that, you have left a path for water to get into your vehicle. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. Let's go towards the tilt. Again, remember, tilt was, I told you, was just push. So that's what we're gonna do. There are two ways to do it, right? Just like a window. I think it kind of makes sense to have to refer to a window. Like this window, right? So this one here is not auto down, right? So whenever I let it go, it stops, right? The front one, I can do it in two different steps. One, two. Window goes down by itself. Likewise, 1, 2, right? And I can stop it. I can stop it by, I guess it's going up down automatically. Stop it. Just pull up and it stops, right? But I can still raise it in notches to whatever height I need it to be, right? So it's possible, right? Okay, so that's it. That's a window. So here, likewise, you can do the same. Let me go to the auto position first, because the auto position is going to open the shade. So push in and hold. You notice the sunshade goes back? Then watch that. Automatically tilted. Once that cleared, that tilted. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was a tilt. And how do you lower it? Two ways. One, push in again. Do you see that? Close itself. But you can also open it by just basically the manual mode, just touching it just gently. You know, it's got steps to it, and just suddenly it's going to hit the top and then start going back down. You see that? It's already started going back down. So I'm just going to close it by pushing in and holding. And then it finds its own position. So let me close the sunshade to see if this is going to work at all. If I decide to use the stepped, whatever, moonroof open, right? Okay, so it's closed. Do a little step. Do you notice that? I'm pushing up, but what's happening is that, and I can actually hold it for a while. It's gonna cross a certain point, and then the tilt is gonna. Well, there you go. Once it crosses right here, then that one can tilt. Okay, so I'll send everything back home. Well, I guess that went fully. Okay, so tilt has been closed. Before I return the shade home, I'd like to show something else about the tilt. So tilt, that's a one-touch tilt. You can also close a tilt by doing this. Go to the first position, first detent position over here. 1, and that's it. Closes it. I'll repeat that for clarity. Hold up, it opens, then go to the first position, just touch it there. Automatically closes, right? That's cool. I think that explains the tilt, and it's a wonderful thing. So what I'm gonna do though, the next part is gonna be sliding the roof back. So this is what you do. You could do it in stages, right? As you saw me do the window. Or you could just do this. And the difference between what I did, the opening in stages, versus what just happened right there, is that I put it to position 1, then held briefly. And then this sliding roof stops itself right here. This is not exactly half, and you'll notice why. Let me do it again, or at least further. Open. Do you notice it went just a little further? It is actually intentional. Depending on the speed you're driving your car at, if you drive your car fast enough and you get to a point that, first, you open you slide your sunroof. When the sunroof is right here, it's not too loud. It's, as I said, it's not fully open, but the aerodynamics of the vehicle work to allow it to be pleasant. However, when you push this all the way back, the air pocket that gets trapped here, it gets so noisy. So there are two positions of your sliding sunroof, and I wanted to just say that, you know, your first position where it rests, you could let it be if you're driving with your roof open. All right, so cool. Let's take this back home. How do we close it? Well, you can go in steps like this, or you could just take it position 1 and hold. So and I need to mention something here, that this assembly gets interrupted by touching the switch, just touching it. So even if it's going backwards, and I touch it going backwards, it stops. Everything stops. So you've seen me send it home by going to position 1 and holding. All right, so nice and easy, right? Once it's closed, if I touched position 1 again, like this, sunshade comes home. So it's, as I said, it's simple, quite complicated in a way. It can be a little confusing, and that's why I decided to do the video. At this point, maybe I should clarify that whenever you're engaging the switch in the open position, priority goes to the sunshade. As you saw, even when I was tilting it, the sunshade opened first. And as I said, I think I like that feature. Helps you save yourself from, you know, any potential water damage. Second thing is that whenever you're sending things home, precedence goes to the glass. All right. So okay, so you saw how I was able to open the sunshade, right? By going to position 1 and holding. Well, maybe I just opened it by tilt the first time, but position 1 and hold, and it goes all the way home, all the way to the back, right? Okay, send it home, and this time I'm going to send it home in a funky way. I'll go to position 2 that way and hold. Well, I'll just actually just hit position 2 and see what happens. There you go. Position 2 is equivalent to a hold, okay? If that makes sense. I think we're gonna have to sketch this out to actually make it make sense. If I'll post the video, and if people still have questions, I guess we can kinda write it out, but it's pretty simple. So you saw what happened, right? Position 1 and hold, open the sunshade, right? So let's do this. Position 2, and I'm not gonna hold, I'll just kick it on position 2, see what happens. 1, 2. As soon as it got to the end, the glass, the sliding glass started to slide. And again, so position 2 is good for absolutes, because what you do, as I said, it just says open everything. And likewise, on the way home, if I go to position 2 with the sunroof open, 1, 2, I send it all the way to the end. Priority goes to the glass, and then sunshade follows automatically. All right, I hope it's starting to make a little more sense right now. As I said, it's not too complicated, not rocket science, but it is just something that it will be cool to know whenever you're working the system, right? What can you do to make it work a little easier? So now let's skip to the other thing that I wanted to kind of show this. Tilt again, hold in. All right, so you've seen that, right? All right, so over here, you've already seen that by me touching the number 1 position button, not even holding it, just touching it, ends up closing the tilt. But what happens if I send it to the second position of the close function? Any guesses? You guessed it, it's gonna close everything. So again, position 2 is absolute open, position 2 towards the front is absolute close. So 1, 2. Close that, and automatically started sending the other one back home. Yeah, the car's got only 41,000 miles, but man, the amount of effort, amount of wear that's been going on today for these videos, but you know, still under warranty and stuff like that. I got an extended warranty. So I hope the video is kind of clear as to the intention, what I wanted to show. All I was going for was showing what this, this mere one single switch with 5 primary positions, what exactly it could do for you. And I hope the video will be a little clear. So yeah, I think honestly that's about it. I can't think of anything else to show right now. I wanted to stop this and see if I could pull it. end up stripping some gears. It doesn't work with a push either. So yeah, I mean, at least now we know. So let me push in, since this is like partially there. I kind of know the answer. It's gonna wait till this one crosses here to tilt it up. But let's do this. Up. There you go. So the up, whatever, the push in position, the tilt position is, I'd say that's the most interesting one, you know. And then, as I said, send it up to the home position, everything home. 1, 2. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the video. If I did this anymore, I don't think anything further would happen. So, I think we've achieved the goal of the video. All the best and enjoy your sunroofs out there.